Hi there, Gwen Raimondi once again. Today I am offering you the third video in the 5-video series that is introducing my new circle, Becoming Unleashed. And today I am talking about what I call the goo, what some would call being in that space of the underworld, what some would call transformation, metamorphosis, change, growth, etc. It is that in between space where we are no longer this way and yet we are not fully this way yet. I call it the goo because I liken it to the process of caterpillar to butterfly, right? So it is that space of the caterpillar has spun its cocoon. It is now in the cocoon. It has disintegrated into literal goo, and yet has not formed or is only in the very beginning process of forming into the butterfly or moth creature that it will become. Right. So it is that very essence space. It is what I would assume for the caterpillar slash butterfly an incredibly uncomfortable space if they have any sort of nerve endings to tell them that, oh yeah, doesn't feel good, right? It is that space where the change is happening, right? Where we are shifting from one way of being into another. And it is conscious work. It is intentional work, right? And so, and while it is intentional and we are choosing it, it is not comfortable because it is different from what we know. It is different from what everyone else around us knows us to be. And so there is discomfort not only in us trying to figure out how we are going to proceed from that place of release, of deciding, I don't want to do this thing anymore. I don't want to hold on to this story anymore. I want to be different in the world now, right? Into the actual being different space, right? And so it is a space of figuring it out and actually not knowing what the fuck we're doing or where we're going or even what this other place when we get to this other quote other side is even going to look like, right? We only know that it isn't going to look like this. That's what we know. And so this is a time when I deeply believe we need, even though it is a very solitary type of process, it is also a time when we very deeply need our resources of community and people and support and being witnessed and empathy for ourselves and for others as they deal with their own process of watching us do different and be different. And so to have people around us, whoever they are, right, to in part cheer us on, right, and in part push us a little bit, right. So so that is the goo. It is in the story of Inanna, it is when she is in the underworld and she's hanging on the hook and she's dead, right? In the Christ story, it's when he's in the cave and he's dead before the resurrection, right? So this is the death before the rebirth. It is all those things, right? All those metaphors, right? Where we are all going through this process of change. And we will struggle and we will have our own resistance and our own stories that come up around that. And that we will need to go back. It's kind of a back and forth, right? It's actually a back and forth between all the spaces of release, uh, the goo, which I also call a place of revolution, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then reclamation, right? We're kind of in all those spaces all at once, and we also bounce back and forth between them all. So it's not a linear, nice, neat, easy process, right? First we do this, and then we do that, and then we're there, right? That's not how any of this works. That's not how life works, right? So, so the reason why I also have come to call this space the revolution space is because it is truly revolutionary to allow ourselves to be in that space of discomfort and to be in that space of unknowing, right? To be in the in between. We live in a culture where, you know, we have to know what we're doing and we have to know where we're going, and there's a goal, and also along with that, we don't like to feel discomfort. We don't like it. We don't like to feel our messy feelings. I'm in that boat too. I am not here casting stones at all. I am right there with everyone. I don't like to feel sad. I don't like to feel pain. I don't like to feel anguish. I don't like to feel that very, for me, discombobulated space of I don't know what's happening next. And even in some ways, I don't know what's happening right now, right? It is not a pleasant place to be. It's not a pleasant place for me to be. I have yet to meet anyone who really enjoys and embraces that space, right? I would love to meet someone who does, because I think it could give me some very interesting perspective on this work. But with that said, it is not, this is not the fun space. This is the space of seeing what all we've done unconsciously, and how that may have harmed others, how that may have harmed ourselves, right? And really the space of developing empathy for ourselves, and reminding ourselves that we didn't know different then, and we know different now. And so we can do different. We can work to do different, right? And also to make amends where we are able and where necessary, where we have harmed others, if that's possible, if it would not be more harmful, right, to try and make amends. So that is all revolutionary, right? That is not how our culture functions at all, right? You know, take all the pills, do all the numbing, watch all the TV, you know, all of those things. And I want to give the caveat that I don't think it's bad to watch TV, and I don't think it's bad to take pills. Um, that is not at all what I'm saying. I think that, you know, I think it's very important actually for us to be able to mindfully choose to take medications that are helpful to us and allow us to be more present and to process things that we're feeling, be that pharmaceutical mental health uh, drugs, be that ibuprofen to help relax our muscles and inflammation so that we're not like in constant pain, be that be that watching crappy TV so we can just kind of zone out and turn our busy monkey brain off for a little bit. You know, whatever, right? I am not saying those things are inherently bad, and I am saying that they are they are ways that we are encouraged to numb ourselves to ourselves, right? To ourself, to our bodies, to our minds, to our spirits, to our souls. And so when we consciously connect to those, to all aspects of ourself, we can then make more conscious choices about whether or not we're going to take whatever things. And sometimes we truly need them. And I don't, you know, I do not discredit or discount that. And I deeply believe that, you know, if we need them, we need them. And that's that. So I wanted to give that little caveat to not give the impression that I am somehow totally against zoning out every now and then, and or taking medications that are helpful for us in whatever form those are, be those pharmaceuticals, be those herbal, be those, you know, however, whatever that is for us, for each individual. Okay, that was enough a little do. Again, this video is about my 6 month, is a part of what we will be exploring in my 6 month circle, Becoming Unleashed. That begins September 22nd. Like I just said, runs for 6 months, has a 3-day in-person retreat here in Seattle, Washington. And if you want to learn more or request an application, there's a link there in the description, or below, depending on where you're reading this. There's a link. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you have seen the previous 2 videos, and I hope you enjoy the next 2 also. Sending you love, and I hope you have an amazing day. Mwah.